Welcome to the continued podcast adventures of Superhero Speak.
But I think many of the people that love this character and that love superheroes in general have used these stories as inspiration to say, you know what, I'm going to do something good in the world. I'm going to make a difference like my hero when I was a kid.
That is my fondest memory of it, because when you're doing comic books, you want them to affect people.
Right.
You want people to care. You want to strike emotions. And I knew that Clone Saga was striking a lot of emotions.
Can you imagine Pulp Fiction starring Goofy and Mickey Mouse?
I can totally imagine that.
I'm sure somebody's written that one too.
Quarter pounder with cheese and France, Mickey. What? Boy, ale with cheese. Yeah, I can totally.
See?
I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Yes, I gladly sacrifice that my progeny to you, almighty Marvel beast.
But Neil Adams is somewhere going, it's my time.
How do you measure success?
Hey everyone, you are listening to Superhero Speak. I'm your host, Dave.
And I'm now deaf, thank you. Here's John.
I'm blind, JD. Literally, I'm blind in one eye.
Are you really?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
Legally blind in my right eye.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know that, but my daughter is also blind in one eye as well. So you had no depth perception.
It's not great. It's not great. We'll leave it at that.
Well, that explains the hip.
No, the hip's actually feeling pretty good. The chiropractor worked on it. It was bad all week, though. Like, on Thursday, I had to walk in, like, look, I got to work this weekend. Do what you got to do. And I spent an hour in there between stretching and being worked on. He beat my ass. And I came out the next day and felt pretty good.
Mm.
Too many jokes, not enough time. Oh.
See, I wasn't going to go there because I've been through physical therapy now.
Right.
And it's true. You walk out of there completely exhausted, but the next day, yeah, pretty good, actually.
Right. If one needs to find some kind of sophomore humor in physical therapy, that's on you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, touche. So other than getting your ass beat, been up to anything fun this week, JD?
Yeah, I did another guest spot on the Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC show with my guys, Regular Scott and Uncle Oz, promoting the books. You know, we went deep, actually, and I kind of really got into why I write and, like, the motivations behind it, and we talked a lot of comic stuff. I advocated Mark Waid as the greatest Flash writer, and did some interesting ones, got a goes. And Scott and I made an announcement that as of next week, the two of us are launching our own professional wrestling podcast. So the Pro Wrestling Showdown coming your way soon to the 14 or 15 people that listen to this show that care about pro wrestling.
There you go.
Well, you severely overestimate our audience.
Don't we do that? Don't we every week?
Pretty much.
Wonderful. How about you, John? Mr. Self-Deprecation?
Not much. It's been a boring week. I nearly died from a bad combination of some new drugs that they put me on, and
that's boring.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, no biggie. You know, a little brush with death, not a problem.
A little brush with death.
Yeah. Got back some editing from my editor.
How'd that go?
And what's that?
How'd that go?
I was surprised there was not as much red as I thought there would be.
That's good.
I thought she would just like highlight the whole thing and make the background red. And that didn't happen. So, yay. So yeah, and you know, wrote a little, and that's it. But otherwise, you know, pretty boring. A lot of work, which we don't like to talk about on here. So. But, and Dave's been bugging me. We have to get together and start talking about New York Comic Con, getting our interviews in order and all that, and starting to get excited about that. Just put in for the time for work.
I got a buddy who's looking forward to talking with you guys when you get out there. Rich Duick. He's super excited.
Is he going to talk to us about our personalities, starting with our legs?
No one cares. No one cares about that. He's going to talk to you about his work.
Rich. I talked to Rich. I think
Yeah.
on. We're definitely going to go find him in Artist Alley and interview him.
He got a new book coming out, so
Yes.
he's a super awesome writer. Good friend of mine, so I'm excited at that. I'm bummed I'm not going to be there, but I'm happy.
It was
Road. It's the platform.
He's the one that did Road of Bones, right?
No, not Road of Bones. That's something different. Road of Bones was the correct. Yes, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, he did Road of Bones.
Yes, yeah. That's what I'm trying to make sure I'm thinking of the right guy. Yes.
Well, he's got a crazy year. He did Road of Bones. He's got his Gutter Magic book is coming back out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the other one that I'm a bad friend. I'm drawing a blank on the third book he had come out this year.
Rich, if you're listening to this, Jamie apologizes.
I'm a shit human being.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Just absolutely horrible.
I mean, we already have like 5 interviews lined up for the show.
Yeah, I was going through the what you sent me in Gmail, so it should be fun.
It's going to be busy again.
Well, good. Good. It should be busy. This is why I get the double strength Concerta.
Drugs.
Yep. Better living through chemistry.
Oh yeah. So that's actually what I've been doing, is going through all our invites and for interviews and whatnot, and getting that straight and putting it on our calendar. And
Wailing Blade. That's the other book. Sorry, man.
Yes.
And it was really good too. And I'm just like, it's gonna be a long night for me.
It's like because the blade steals the souls, basically. Of all.
Yes.
Yes.
Got that big, sweet, Liefeld-ian looking sword.
Yes.
Sorry.
Let's see if I can get this back on the rails. Okay. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, I saw a movie with my wife over the weekend. Angel Has Fallen, because we saw the other two and liked them. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. I mean, it's your typical action movie. It's very predictable. Like, the entire movie is very predictable. You can see who the twist bad guy is coming way before it's revealed, but that you don't go for the story, you go for the ride, right?
I heard it was horrible, but
yeah. Well, the first two got bad ratings too, but I thought they were decent movies. You get to see Morgan Freeman as the president.
Yeah, you've never seen that before.
He went from he went from God to president, so I don't know if that's a step down or what. But
how many times he's played president in several movies? So
he was the president in Deep Impact, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say Deep Impact and this movie. I can't think of any other movie where he played president.
Pretty sure he was in another one too. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Speaking of Morgan Freeman, 7 came out 24 years ago today. How old does that make you feel?
Oh my God!
Right?
Add a zero to that, and that's how old I feel.
I filled out my AARP stuff afterwards, and I'm not even that old.
Jeez, I haven't even done that yet.
Well, I was also being facetious, but yes.
Oh.
You're the closest one to filling that stuff out, John.
I'm so old I didn't even get the facetiousness, so I'm more of a Schadenfreude guy myself.
Old man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you.
The other thing that I've been doing is following some of our interesting going-ons on Twitter. And we've had so we're going to get into social media madness here. And we've had the most viral tweet, I think, in the history of this show.
So viral is an interesting word.
Yeah, three people responded to it, so yeah, sure.
No. We got a crap load of response. And of course, this was a rumor we discussed. Henry Cavill is being sought after to play Logan or Wolverine in the new MCU.
Allegedly,
yes.
Allegedly.
We said it was a rumor, And boy, did people go nuts over this. I don't even know if I can read all these responses, but we can highlight some of them. So
yeah, just do the highlights.
Yeah.
We'll be here forever.
And now 5,000 words from Twitter.
Ghost of the Stratosphere said, "I really like Cavill, so I'm down for whatever Marvel could want to do with him. Those awful DCEU flicks weren't his fault."
He's right.
Yes.
No, they were the fault of his mustache.
Shane Beauregard said, "I don't see it, but wouldn't hate it either. I like Cavill. He turned me around a little in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which no one saw." I think the only other person on the planet that saw that movie, and I'm like, he is beyond charming in that movie, and it's like, why is that not the Cavill we got playing Superman?
Zack Snyder.
Oh, no, don't say it.
I can't say it 3 times or he's going to show up.
Yeah, that's true.
Eidersnay.
A few people responded to this, where Randy Savage said that he was too tall, but maybe Sabretooth he could play. A lot of people kind of echoed that too. It's just like, yes, because he's tall and he's big, so like people automatically think Sabretooth, but I don't know.
You don't cast Henry Cavill to play Sabretooth.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's just like,
go ahead. Sorry.
And like, what version of Sabretooth is it? The Sabretooth from the first X-Men movie, or the Sabretooth from the Wolverine Origins movie?
Oh, Wolverine Origins, obviously, because you wouldn't want it to be good. Actually, I take that back. That was the better one. I thought that was the better one, actually.
Oh God, no! That's the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Not the movie, just the portrayal of the brothers.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, Liev Schreiber is a better actor than Tyler Mane. Wrestler.
Yeah.
I think we as nerds have to accept the fact that Wolverine is no longer 5'2".
This is true. At least the live-action version.
Well, even in the comics, he's not that short anymore.
Why?
Nah, that's true.
He just isn't. They don't draw him like that anymore. Why? Because Hugh Jackman got cast in him as a movie, so that changed his portrayal.
I was going to say, he got cast him as him and played him for what? 13 years, 14, 15 years?
Yeah, something like that.
And, yeah, so, like, he was the face of Wolverine. It makes sense. This guy from House of D.
What up, Don?
He said, "I can see it now. They will have to CGI his sideburns."
I believe he used that same joke on the show last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get new material. I can joke with him because I know he's listening.
Yeah, this is true.
Come along later. Continue.
Binge Movie said, "I think he's a good actor and would do well, but I just don't see it." And then, of course, there's the Jerry Seinfeld meme of him saying, "I'll tell you, I don't see it happening." Timothy Jones, another listener of the show, only if he wears the red trunks.
No.
So now here you go. When's the last time you said Henry Cavill was great in this movie? I'm not going to say he's hurt a movie because he was in it, but I'm not impressed. I thought Brandon Routh was much better as Superman.
This guy loses Twitter privileges.
Yeah, I mean,
that was I said hi, by the way.
Hi, you lost your Twitter privileges.
Oh, but keep in mind that like both movies made the character bad. It wasn't the acting per se.
Check this out. He's really good in Mission Impossible, whatever that last one was. He's really good in it.
Yes. I was going to say, he's really good at Mission Impossible. Man from U.N.C.L.E., again, he's really good in that movie.
He's a good actor.
It has nothing to do with Henry Cavill. It has to do with someone named Snyder.
He shall not be named.
Something that rhymes with Snyder.
and the script that he was given. So, yeah.
Yeah. And Brandon Routh himself is like actually a pretty good comedic actor considering what he's done on Legends of Tomorrow.
Whereas I don't think he was actually a great Superman the last time. He was very broody.
Well, yeah, but again, that was the direction and the storyline.
No, I agree with that. Story and directing was not very good in that. The X-Men guy, whose name escapes me, Bryan Singer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volsker said, I am very worried about this. I already have my concerns with the Witcher series. I just don't know.
Well, good. Neither do we. What do you expect? We're not going to answer that for you. Are you kidding me?
Remember when I crapped on this rumor last week and said there's no way this is a real thing?
And you did that on air, too.
I did, which is why we had so many responses. But, I mean, like, I'm amazed how much this one did catch fire.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I want Scott Eastwood to be the next Wolverine from MZ Gemini, 1978. Or at MZ Gemini. Who's Scott Eastwood?
Clint's kid.
Oh. You know what? That's the whole thing. It's like, I've said this before. I honestly have thought Hugh Jackman could play a young Clint Eastwood because they look a lot alike. So now saying Scott Eastwood, it's like, well, of course, he's got the same look.
You mean the same squint?
Basically, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Guido Martinez, sorry.
Oh, my God. Oh,
I think he'd make a better Wonder Man, but oh well, not a bad choice either. Wonder Man?
Fuck is putting Wonder Man in a movie?
You never know. Although the character is so screwed up, you'd have to like rewrite his entire. I mean, which Wonder Man? Right? There were like a few.
No, there's just one, Simon Williams. But
well, yeah, but his origin changed so much.
It's a little convoluted, and you just do what they do in the comics and ignore him.
Well, and that's the whole
he never
thing.
Like, anything. That's right.
Even if you wanted him to fill out a roster for something, you're not putting Henry Cavill in the Wonder Man suit. It's just not happening. You're going to put John O'Grady in the Wonder Man suit before you put Henry Cavill in it.
No, because I have personality, and that wouldn't work for that character.
You do have personality. Can't argue that one bit.
What?
You have good personality. That's why you're good on the show. I was actually complimenting you, man.
I know when it compute, my brain isn't ready for that kind of input.
I know. I compliment. Hey, you officially are a writer. Hey, that was a compliment. What did he mean by that?
C3 Comics. That would be pretty awesome. A step down character power wise, but a step up box office wise.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe? Seems like a weird...
I don't know. We don't know that. I don't know. I have no idea. Man of Steel actually made money.
Of course it did. It's like, but the Transformers made money too. So
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if that's necessarily accurate. I mean, that's not a simple A to B to C line of thinking.
Right.
Moving on.
We're going to be here. We're going to be on this one forever.
Mr.
Undecellin, Undecilion. I'm only bringing this one up because he used the GIF of Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible.
He looks like a badass.
If the rumors are true, I called it. He'd be great. So, hopefully he's right. And then, my God, I can't do all of these.
Yeah, so let's move on. We've got other stuff. This was an interesting week. So we got a lot of things we can talk about.
So essentially, yes, it's mixed, and a lot of people are reacting to this, just in general. Some people like the idea, some people hate it, some people are unsure. I'm going to say, like, if it's true, I think he's a good actor. I think it's going to be weird to look past him being Superman at first.
I still don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, I don't think it's going to happen either. But if it did, that would, like, if he knocks it out of the park, no one's going to care, you know? Again, Chris Evans was Johnny Storm before he played Captain America. So, and no one goes back and goes, "Oh, he was a better Johnny Storm," or anything like that. You know.
I just saw him in a movie called Push, which I had heard, but I've never seen it before. But I was bored on Sunday afternoon, and I was tired from running, so I just wanted to like veg, and I'm like, click, click, click. Oh wait, it's Captain America. What's he doing there? Oh no, he's got telekinetic powers. That's cool. He was pretty good in that too.
Yeah, I remember liking that movie.
Yeah, it was a good watch.
So we also had a couple of random tweets here. So we had Kevin Glennon say, "Thanks for the kind words," because we gave him a shout out in the last episode. I'd love to be on the show sometime, and I agree with JD.
He's only saying that to get on.
Sony doesn't need to hammer Spider-Man's background story again. Uncle Ben has been killed so many times it feels like we're watching Buckwheat getting shot again on SNL. So first off, Kevin...
10 points Gryffindor.
First off, Kevin, JD's never right. Second of all, thank you for actually listening to the show. And Kevin Glennon does a book called The United States Vampire Service.
Oh,
and
I need to read that. That sounds awesome. I've never read it before. That sounds good.
Well, he actually tweeted us a link for a review copy. So
I don't see because we're not out. You're the only one that's on the Twitter page, so I don't get the updates.
Oh, okay. So yes, we will take a look at the book, and there's a good chance you're going to be on the show shortly. Don't worry about it.
I might take away his points for the old ass joke though about Buckwheat getting shot on Saturday Night Live.
That was one of the best episodes ever.
But it's like 40 years old. That's an old joke.
Well, that's how long it's been since SNL's been funny. So
one of the best was like every time they interviewed someone, it was like, "Do you believe he was a quiet guy, got along with everyone, blah, blah. Do you believe he shot Buckwheat?" "Oh, yeah, it's all he ever talked about." One day I'm going to shoot Buckwheat. So we also had talked about Peter Capaldi being in the Suicide Squad. And he had said, rumor is, this was John A. Short, said, rumor is he's playing Mastermind. But for looks, I'd cast him as Dr. Light. For accent, I'd cast him as Mirror Master.
Yeah, those are all pretty good.
Yeah, JD said I can get on board with all those. Which I replied to, you want everyone to be the Captain Boomerang. To me, Mastermind does make a lot of sense, but I can actually see him as Dr. Light as well.
Well, you can make him Dr. Mastermind, and he's just basically Doctor Who again.
So yeah, like I was saying last week,
just completely ignore. Walk away. Don't make eye contact. Even though
he can't be Captain Boomerang because Jay Courtney is in it.
Yes, I know.
And so is the Unicorn too, probably.
So we got to stop. We got to stop saying everyone's Captain Boomerang.
Mm. Sure.
And then Rachel Wilde said the Thinker, which that goes hand in hand, I think. But Mastermind makes sense, so that's probably what it's going to be.
We don't know what James Gunn's going to do.
No, we don't.
Something crazy.
Which is really nice because it's like he'll always make decisions that will make things better, things that you probably never would have thought of yourself.
Yes.
So it's I like the surprises when it comes to him.
All I know is I'll be entertained.
Yes.
All right, and then finally,
a dancing baby Groot to it too.
Of course, we talked about the Russo brothers saying the next Marvel property they would want to take on is Fantastic Four. To which, when we were doing the show, John right away said, "Shut up and take my money." Randy Random Savage tweeted at us DiCaprio throwing money into the water from Wolf of Wall Street. House of D said, "I like when you quote John with memes."
Especially Fry memes.
Yes.
Yeah, fry memes.
Ghost of the Stratosphere gave us
good.
the famous, what's this guy's name?
Shia LaBeouf.
LaBeouf.
Jeez.
Do it! Do it! What are you waiting for?
That guy's career is gone, but he lives on in memes.
Yes. And then EgoPod said, absolutely make it happen. So, I don't think anyone argues with that idea. All right. And, of course, I mentioned Random Randy Savage, co-host of Cult 45, and like all of the great podcasts in the Geek World All-Stars Podcast Network, that includes Cult 45, us, Pop Prism Power Podcast, So Wizard Podcast, Fans of Patrol, and the Gorilla Brain Podcast. So you guys should check out all those other great podcasts. And before we take a commercial break, I actually have an announcement that I forgot I was going to make at the top of the show. If you listen to us on Podcoin...
Podcoin going away.
Yes, you should be aware Podcoin is going away as of Monday.
As a surprise.
So please find us. We are on any podcatcher you can think of. iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker. So, find us on one of those. And, of course, if you're not sure... You can always check out superheroespeak.com to find out where you can download our show and also where to follow us on social media. And you too could be part of social media madness. So on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after these commercials.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And we're back, guys. Woo-hoo.
Is that tag like some Generation X thing?
Huh?
Like the after these messages, we'll be right back. What is that?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
That's from the old ABC Saturday morning cartoon block.
Before my time.
Yeah, like when we were kids and we actually had to get up on Saturday morning to watch cartoons.
I did, but I mean, okay. I don't remember that. So I mean, like,
well, that's because that's
you guys are a lot older than me.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes, we're old. Okay, are you happy?
No.
Okay. All right, let's get on to some news here because a couple interesting things happened this week. The first one I'm saying take with a grain of salt. This could be a rumor, but rumor states that Disney is trying to buy the rights of Spider-Man back from Sony.
Now, didn't we talk about this? Didn't we mention this?
Well, I mean, we made jokes about them just buying Sony, but this is just like, well, here, we'll give you $6 billion, you give us back Spider-Man.
Right, and in 3 movies they could make that up.
Oh, yeah. So I guess, I mean, JD, do you think this is valid? And
stink eye.
Stink eye. You think this is just a rumor?
Got the official JD stink eye. Okay.
We got this covered.
Oh, never mind.
This is.
It's
well, I saw it on Epic Stream. I'd never heard of this site before.
But they quote, yeah, this is like a clickbait site. This Epic Stream thing. This is a clickbait site. That said, why would Sony sell?
Well, that's the whole thing. They're not saying that's a done deal. They're just saying Sony.
No. I get it. Let's just play in the hypothetical world for a moment. What incentive other than money does Sony have to sell Spider-Man? They ain't hurting. Their movies are making money. I mean, is Marvel going to drop I know you just made this figure up, but like $6 billion on one character?
Well, is it one character or is it everything under the Spider-Man umbrella, which includes...
It would probably be everything under the Spider-Man umbrella. You're probably right about that. But it's still like, why would they?
Yeah,
that's what's making them money.
If it included everything under the umbrella, that would include or preclude
it would be
Sony from making another Venom movie. So, and they're going to be doing that.
It would depend on, I think, a handful of things. And it's one of those things where to do it right now, yeah, exactly. What's the incentive? If the next Spider-Man movie comes out and it flops, or doesn't make anywhere near, the $1 billion the last one just made, is that incentive enough then? Like, okay, we're not making the money we thought we were going to make, so let's just cut a check and run. Or is it, I'm trying to think, or do they, again, I know people agreed with you, JD, they don't need to rehash things, but let's just say the writers feel trapped and they're like, we can't write a good Spider-Man movie because we're not allowed to reference anything from the MCU. We're going to end up having to reboot, and then Sony's like, oh, well, that's going to kill it.
So if Sony feels like they have writers who cannot write a good Spider-Man story without that, allow me to direct them to me.
I'm still telling you, man, it will be awkward.
Are you working for the enemy now?
The writing will be tap dancing.
Do you know how much money you're going to get paid to write a Spider-Man script? Holy Jesus.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean the script will be good. And all props to you, JD, but it'll still be like you're tap dancing around everything. It'll just be awkward.
Then call me Bojangles. I'm cashing a check.
It'll be like watching Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars. I mean...
Hey, watch the low blows, dude. Jeepers. I called you creative earlier, and you're comparing me to Sean Spicer?
Only in regards to this one script, thank you.
I still... I don't see where Sony, because Sony, I truly think, now unless this is like the greatest con job ever, and Sony did this specifically to get Marvel to buy the character back, which, I don't know, my conspiracy-laden brain can make that math work in my head.
That's
but,
a bit Machiavellian for Sony, though.
Yes, and I don't give him that much credit, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
I still don't, why? Spider-Man's at his height right now. He hasn't been this, film-wise, he hasn't been this popular since 2002. Like, what you get? That's like, that's like folding when you're on a hot streak. Like,
he'll be hot until Sony kills Uncle Ben again.
Yeah, and I'm still saying that's a definite possibility. But now is not the time to cash out your chips. The time to cash out your chips would have been after Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because Marvel, you want to buy when that thing's at its lowest, not at its highest.
That is true, and that I think is one of the things that prompted the deal to bring him into the MCU. Is like they stopped and went, oh wait, we don't know what we're doing with this character. This sucks.
Well, no, it was also because it wasn't the runner, the person in charge of the Spider-Man properties at the time at Sony was a fan of the Marvel MCU, and they worked together with Feige. I thought there was some kind of relationship there. That
but
now that she's not part of it, now things cooled off.
Laura Shula Donner, I believe.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that's what prompted the powers to be at Sony to be like, okay, let's talk to them and work something out. Like, if Amazing Spider-Man 2 had made $1 billion, they would have been like, yeah, Marvel, you go do your thing.
Suck it.
Right.
Yeah. This isn't... Like, I know Disney has a nice long history in this decade of just buying stuff for billions of dollars. But I just don't see, they could, believe me, I'm sure the people at Marvel have said we should just buy it back. But it's the seller's market, man.
Right.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing that's interesting is people can't believe, people like David Coop, who was the screenwriter of the first Spider-Man movie, can't believe that Marvel fans are taking Disney's side in this war between Sony and Marvel.
But he's got deep Sony ties, so... I mean, he wrote the first Tobey Maguire movie,
right?
Didn't he? Yeah,
right,
so...
and he's talking about if you read the article, he basically is like, well, Disney's not the underdog. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean they're not wrong either. I mean, doesn't mean they're right either.
Well,
no one's wrong on this whole thing. I mean, like, this is business. I mean, like, Everybody's wrong in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. This is very much,
Yeah, it's very muddy waters.
Very muddy waters.
From a fan's standpoint, it's like, well, Disney built this giant MCU. You know, it was them backing these movies that made them be able to build what they did over 10 years, you know.
People are on Disney's side because they have a better track record, that's why.
Right. So it's like, you know, of course the fans are going to back the MCU. Like, why he's surprised by that is what shocked me, you know. Like,
yeah. Because Sony is the underdog. Sony. Come on, man.
Well,
yeah.
Why would people go after the people that actually pay me my paycheck? I don't understand that.
Well, it's not like he does have some Sony ties, but nobody is loyal to a studio or something like that. So he could actually feel this way. And he brings up that Spider-Verse was a great movie, but that's one that they've made in the last decade and a half that didn't involve the Marvel team. So I mean, like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go based on what have you done for me lately.
Right. Oh, and the thing is, with that movie, it was like in production for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and they had a lot of time to get that movie right, I think.
And it was us. Miller and Lord were involved. Those guys are aces, you know?
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry. Sorry, but, you know, Sony's not an underdog in the least.
Neither is Marvel. Like, we're talking billion-dollar entities here. There's no underdog.
Right.
Come on.
People seem to forget that, I think. John, I have to... You have to dry your eyes a little bit. You're going to get very upset.
Why?
Well, you know that new Warriors TV show that was supposed to feature Squirrel Girl?
Son of a bitch.
It was going to be...
God damn it.
It was going to be the girl from the AT&T commercials playing the live-action version of Squirrel Girl. It looks like it possibly canceled.
It will happen. Someday it'll happen.
So apparently they did film the pilot. It was shown around and people really liked the pilot. But current rumors is that, was it Hulu was saying there's, not Hulu, Freeform said there's no room on their schedule for this show.
It was done in by the CGI for all the squirrels.
Which I'm kind of shocked, but you know, like, okay, then put it on Disney Plus or Hulu or something like that. But I don't know, like, what the plans were for this show.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, I like conspiracy theories.
Speaking of which, there's a book called Conspiracy Theory out, currently available on Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Wait, that was not planned. That just worked well. ABC, brother, always be closing. Anyway, what I mean is,
sounding like Dirk.
This is a Jeff Loeb backed project.
Uh-huh.
And all the Jeff Loeb stuff seems to be
disappearing,
drifting away. Right, while Kevin Feige has moved into the TV space, and all of a sudden, the MCU stuff is paying a lot more attention to their TV. So we don't know what's going on in the back scenes of Marvel corporate, but I don't think it's unreasonable to ask the question of whether or not Jeff Loeb has lost some power.
Interesting.
But why? I mean, he was pretty damn successful in what he did.
It could just be a consolidation thing. Now that Disney Plus is in the, I mean, because if you're Disney, who are you going to go with?
Yeah,
maybe 4 good.
3.5.
I think it's more true. I think it's or Kevin Feige, who's got a track record of 20 plus films and wants to bring his golden touch to your new streaming service. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but which one was harder, the TV or the movie? Sorry, Dave. Give one second.
Are you for real on that one? 20 movies as compared to like 6 shows?
Well, yeah, but I'm not liking it, but
I don't know. It's true. I mean, also not just the TV shows; it's also the animation. Jeff Loeb was in charge of. So all the stuff on Disney XD, like the Spider-Man cartoon and the Avengers cartoon, and there was a really bad Hulk cartoon.
Was it Agents of Smash or whatever?
Yeah, Agents of Smash.
Yeah. The other one, the Avengers one, went on for quite some time. I mean, the last incarnation of it.
Right. So,
but as we know, animation is different than film.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. So then that's what you're losing. First, it was all the Netflix stuff, right? And then, is Runaways still going?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
It's one of the few I didn't keep track of.
Yeah, and then the other ones are the Cloak and Dagger.
That I haven't heard that's been canceled yet.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And let's see, Runaways. I don't know.
The last season for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Maybe
Runaways has been renewed.
Okay.
Maybe
well, that means
Jeff's days are numbered.
Yeah, I'm not numbered, but I don't know if he's kind of maybe lost his austerity. Like maybe he's just got to go everything through Feige now, as opposed to being able to do, kind of spearhead stuff.
And they don't like each other, right?
They don't like each other, but there's like there's a rift of some sort that has not come to the mainstream light. Like there's something.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because Loeb was Perlmutter's guy and Feige was Disney's guy.
I think it might be something like that.
Yeah.
Because, Jeff Loeb was part of that creative team. The Marvel, what do they call it? The Marvel, the creative committee that Kevin Feige did away with as soon as he got some power.
Yes.
So this might all go back. Like I said, I'm just being a conspiracy theorist, available on Amazon for only 99 cents.
Jesus criminy.
But I think there might be something here.
No, that's true. I forgot about that because they used to do summits. Marvel used to do summits where they would get together. I think they still do it for the comics.
Yeah, they do it for the comics every year. They've been doing it some years. But for the movies, they were doing these creative committee things, and then that all went bye-bye. Right,
because they would give these notes to the movie people and be like, okay, we want to see this and this and this in the movies, and Feige went, yeah, nah, that's okay, we won't do that. Interesting.
Yeah, that's said.
So 99 cents on Amazon, we can get all the answers.
You'll learn about the underground lizard people.
Oh, even better.
I'm a Chud man myself, so.
All right, these are interesting questions that we need answers to. We need an investigative journalist on this show. All right, so let's move across the aisle then to DC. And I'm going to start with the article that JD sent us. That apparently Jeffrey Wright is in talks to play Commissioner Gordon in The Batman. So
things seem to be heating up because wasn't there a lot of articles about that?
Yeah, it caught fire this afternoon.
Yeah. So I like Jeffrey Wright. He plays my favorite character on Westworld. So he's a really good actor. I definitely could see it. He would bring a lot of depth, I think, to a role that, other than the Nolan movies, hasn't gotten a lot of depth in the movies. Yeah. And I saw somebody on Facebook or Twitter complain oh, I'd like to see J.K. Simmons continue. And it's just nah, he's J. Jonah Jameson. He's a better fit for that. Much better fit. He is not Gordon at all. So yeah, I backed his choice. You guys have any opinion one way or the other?
I don't have an opinion yet. I'm waiting to see something that actually excites me. Right now, I'm okay. It's just another Batman as far as I'm concerned. It'll depend on the script and the director.
Well, Matt Reeves is the director. So they've had
it'll depend on the script.
Yeah, I mean, this has been in development, gestation, we'll call it, for quite some time. I'm okay with this casting. I'm fine with it. There might be people like, oh, black guy playing Gordon. I don't like that. I mean, that doesn't bother me. I think he's a good actor. I want to see what they do with it. Like John says, I want to see something more than casting announcements. Because, the Snyder movies had great casting, but the material they worked with wasn't up to snuff. So yeah. I want to see a trailer before I make a comment on anything.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true because I didn't include this, but apparently the rumors are heating up again about what's her face from the Twilight movies playing Catwoman.
That ain't gonna happen. That's just that's just the old shipping stuff. That's not real.
I mean, she is such a wooden. I'm sorry, she's a terrible actress. I don't care what people say. She's horrible, and I really don't want to see her play Catwoman.
Confession time. I've never watched a movie with her in it, so I have no idea if she's good or not.
I've seen a few.
You've never watched a Twilight movie?
No.
Your wife?
Well, I haven't watched Twilight movies either, so, you know.
Oh, God, no, my wife has you don't know my wife. She has zero interest in a Twilight movie. She is like Buffy, ride or die.
Okay.
So she's like, the very idea of Twilight was morally and physically offensive to her.
Well, you married well.
Oh, I did. She's the best.
You're a lucky, lucky man. Lucky man. All right. Let's move along. You guys, I need somebody to save me.
It was true. It was true. The rumors were true.
Don't care how you do it. I love that song.
So, it has been confirmed that Tom Welling and Erica Durant will be reprising the roles of Superman and Lois Lane in the upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover on the Arrowverse. And
can it get any better? Can they? How many more people can they fit into this thing?
Well, and the thing is, the rumors was he was going to play the Kingdom Come Superman, but he's playing the Smallville Superman.
Yeah,
which is they're saying you're catching up 10 years later. What has happened to Superman since we last saw him in the finale?
Well, he had to take Chloe to jail, unfortunately.
She's busy.
Well, I mean, and that's the brilliance of it. You can get away. First off, I'll say something in a minute about this whole crossover, but it's 10 years gone by. You know he's Superman and Lois. You don't really care about the high school friends anymore at that point, right?
Well, yeah, except that Allison Mack, Chloe, was very, she was part of. They gave hints at the end that she was putting together the Justice League.
Yeah,
she was going to be integral in pulling them all together. She'd already met Batman and Wonder Woman and all these other people.
They were pushing hard to make her the Smallville Oracle.
Yeah, they called her. They actually called her Oracle.
Yeah,
yes,
that wasn't a push. That was a thing.
That's right. Yeah, but I mean, all they gotta do is she died. She got hit by a car.
Doing time.
He's in another life now.
It's the one person
he went to a Japanese anime.
It's the one person Superman couldn't save for some reason.
Chloe's wall of weird became too weird. For real though, this makes me so happy. Erica Durance was awesome as Lois Lane.
She was.
She's probably my favorite Lois Lane. I just love her interpretation of that character. I really like the chemistry that the two of them had. I was telling my wife this. I'm I should not be as happy about this as I am.
Yes, I agree with you completely. I've said this before. I'll say it again. It's the only show that I own the entire show on DVD. So,
But this, you know what this means? This means that Supergirl from Smallville is what's that villain from Supergirl? Right?
Brainiac.
Yeah, well, yeah, pre-Brainiac or something. I forget the name of it. But Laura Vandervoort played Supergirl.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah. They just look alike. They're not the same person.
But that's also Brandon Routh is the Atom, and then he's coming back as Superman in this as well.
Well, yeah, and well, okay, so it doesn't really matter, but like it would be nice if they brought back what's his face from the original Lois and Clark, because then we could have
Kane. No, yes. We can keep him on the sidelines.
I know he's
a bad actor.
Yeah, and his politics and all. He's gotten a little.
His politics out of the equation. He was like one person became a star on that show, and it should have been him, and it wasn't because he's not good.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. He was a football player before he got signed to do the show. He was.
So was Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds was a football player before he became an actor.
And Burt Reynolds, I'm sorry, I don't think was a good actor.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Bite your goddamn tongue. Have some respect for it. Have some respect for dead, sir.
We don't take kindly to your kind around here, do you?
Cannonball Run is not a work of Shakespeare. All right.
It wasn't meant to be.
Whoa! Cannonball Run is very much in line with a lot of the Shakespearean comedies.
True. Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
Like, it's got a lot in common with, like, Much Ado About Nothing, or the one with the two twins that I forget what the title is off the top of my head, or As You Like It. Like, I think old Willie S. would have tipped his hat at the Cannonball Run.
Oh, my God, I can't believe
Dom DeLuise alone.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, okay.
Wow, was that a tangent?
That aside, he has been on Supergirl already. He was on Supergirl already as their father.
Yes,
and he's been in a couple episodes.
And the original Supergirl is their mother.
So, and this also gets to the other point I was going to make. They are bringing in so many different versions of the characters in this. How much screen time are they really going to get?
You're right. This is what's going to happen. Everyone's going to get a little vignette moment in the sun. I mean, we're kind of building this up to be like a real thing. It's just going to be a couple like scenes, and then they'll move on.
I know. So, I mean, look how much time the Flash got, the original Flash got in.
That's true.
The last crossover. I mean, he was there, and then like somebody snapped their fingers, and Thanos. So that was it.
So I mean, that's that's the thing. Like, how much time are they going to really get? Not much. So in that respect too, then it really wouldn't matter Dean Cain's acting. They could just have him fly by. It's like, there's another Superman.
This is going to make me want another, like a Smallville continued. And in this marketplace, that's actually possible.
This is true.
God.
But they can't call it Smallville anymore. I mean, what would it be? They'd have to introduce, I don't even know what they would do.
They would be Lois and Clark, the continuing adventures of Superman.
Oh my God. No, seriously, I understand what you're saying, but this is over 5 episodes, so it's not too bad. I mean, they're going to have 4 hours. They'll have more time to go through some of these characters than, like, Endgame did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of them will get more time than others. I understand what you're saying, though, because if they do pack more in, it will be just, walking. You'll see him walking behind somebody.
I think you're going to get a scene where they end up in the Smallville universe. They run into Superman. He like it's going to be maybe a Superman meets Superman kind of thing. And he's just going to explain like what he's been up to, help them out with something, and then that's it.
And just remember, Tom Welling's Superman is like one of the most powerful Supermen there are. He was able to take Apocalypse and just bench press it out of orbit at the end of
he's kind of
so that's one of the most he's like Golden Age Superman.
Silver Age Superman.
Silver Age. I was going to say Silver Age Superman. He's like Yeah, he's like 60s, 70s power level Superman who could move planets.
Golden Age Superman could only jump over a building.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, and then there's like, what is it, Silver Age Superboy or whatever, Superboy Prime. But yeah, he was. I read an article about that like maybe 2 years ago. They were comparing all their power levels, and he was the most powerful.
You know, that's the next crossover.
What's that?
Superboy Prime.
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
No!
Oh my God! How would they resolve that though?
Mm.
Didn't he like punch? He punched reality, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And then they're gonna bring in Dr. Manhattan. Anyway.
Holy crap! I just saw the ending, dude. The original Crisis on Infinite Earths ends when the Golden Age. It's the Golden Age Superman, Alex Luthor, Golden Age Lois Lane, and Superboy Prime are the last survivors of the Crisis, which is like when I took all the Earths and merged them together. And the Golden Age Superman and Golden Age Lois and Alex Luthor get put in a pocket dimension.
Yes,
that's what they're going to do.
What, they're going to put Tom Welling in a pocket?
Yeah. Tom Welling and Eric Endurance.
That would be interesting.
It just hit me. That's exactly what they're probably going to do.
But they were put there with Superboy Prime, weren't they?
And Alex Luthor, who may be a character. Like I said, Alex Luthor is a linchpin of the first Crisis,
which sets up a possible spinoff.
Or the Infinite Crisis crossover for next season.
Yeah, but I don't know how they're going to top this. I mean, I don't know. And they won't have arrows.
Punching the walls of reality. That's
exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is crazy. I can't wait till December now.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh my God, this is nuts. All right.
So, speaking of that stuff.
Speaking of crazy things, it's again real short. It again doesn't tell you much, but have you saw the new teaser for Birds of Prey?
That I did not see. I was bad. I didn't do my homework.
Oh my God. How about you, JD? Did you watch it?
I missed it. I missed that link. I'm a bad co-host too.
That's okay. You talk about it, and I'll watch it in the background.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
So it was.
We're becoming a reaction video here. Okay.
So it was.
Oh my God! Is that it?
I was going to say. So it was a surprise. They put it at the beginning of it, and they had all these it balloons floating up, and Harley Quinn walks up out of the.
Oh, that's old. Yeah, that's been out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, background it says. I'm so over clowns, and she hits one of the balloons with her baseball bat.
I take it back. I have seen that.
Okay.
I thought they released another one. My bad.
No. This is just we missed this to talk about earlier, and so that's why I included it. But yeah, it does. Again, it's not showing us much. It's still setting up the same vibe the initial teaser gave us, and that's about it, really. I don't know. Has it, other than the, I kind of feel like that's a hint at the direction of the movie. I'm so over clowns, saying she's kind of done with the Joker, and of course, the movie's called The Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be. Good. She's a better character without Joker.
Without Joker or without Jared Leto Joker?
Both. But especially Jared Leto Joker.
No, I like her with Joker. I'm sorry. I'm a purist. Going back to the animated series where she was created.
Part of her character is that she's this liberated, dangerous woman who basically
escaped from an abusive relationship.
Yeah, or in an abusive relationship that she can't seem to quit, even though she's a psychologist and she should definitely know better.
I like her as DC's Deadpool. I think that's the best Harley interpretation. That's what Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner have done with her.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I never viewed it as an abusive relationship because the way that they showed it in the animated series, like,
Oh no, it was totally an abusive relationship.
When
in
he
the animated
when he
series.
hits her and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and she winces, or in like the Bruce Timm comics when he's actually hitting her.
Yeah, there were many times. Even it was actually talked about back when that happened because there was a serious bitch slap there, and we're talking like end of the '90s that this happened.
Yeah. It's totally an abusive
on
relationship.
TV.
But it's supposed to be. To be honest, it's like that's what it's supposed to be.
Right. So, we'll see. I don't know. I have to wait till I see the trailer anyway for this movie because I'm not sold on it yet.
Yeah.
Looks good. I mean, it's got my interest. Like, the teaser looks interesting. Like, I don't see any red flags. I like the humor. I like the whole it thing. I'm down.
No sign of Jared Leto, so I'm fine.
All I see are pluses so far.
All right. And here's an article I included just for you, JD.
Oh, good.
So Jay Courtney, most famously known for playing Captain Boomerang in the Suicide Squad, recently spoke up about James Gunn directing the movie. He said, "It's kind of funny that we're getting it up to go again, and there's a bunch of new people and a bunch of old people too. It's going to be different, but it's going to be different for sure, but I think everyone's welcoming that challenge and welcoming the new energy in. I loved David. I loved working with David. I'd work with David again in a heartbeat. But Gunn, too, is quite prolific and really obviously does know what he is doing. I'm excited to see what he brings to it. It's going to be tonally different, but very cool as well. The world has evolved from where we were at that point. He's going to have his own take on it, and it's going to be great."
The world has evolved in 2 years. This is what you say when you have no idea what's happening.
That's what I was about to say. It's just like, oh yeah, we did a good movie, and we're gonna do another good movie. Yeah.
Hey, I'm getting paid again. It's work. I'm gonna take it. But I mean, like, he has no idea. He knows as little about it as the rest of us, which is exciting.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. It's the comment too of like, things are in a different place, and it's like, what did he mean by that? Like, is he saying that audiences are expecting something different now? They were expecting something different when that movie came out in the first place.
I think what he means is like the DCEU is doing something different. But
Okay.
I think honestly, I think it's word vomit. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely word vomit. Oh, pardon me. That's something John's used to.
Thank you very much.
Speaking of John, here's the article he brought to our attention this week.
My God, I contributed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's just the first sign of the apocalypse. Apparently, Joaquin Phoenix walked out in an interview over questions of the violence in the Joker movie. So basically, what was it? BBC America. He was being interviewed, or BBC. He was being interviewed about the movie, and the interviewer basically said, what did he think about the violence, and was he afraid people were going to imitate
It would encourage people, yeah.
Encourage people, and he walked out of the, he got upset and said, well, he said no, and the interviewer pressed him on it, so he got up and walked out, That says he gathered his thoughts and came back, but
that is a weird tact to take for an interview but considering what goes on these days, and the political climate and the violence and all that. I mean, I could see where the question came from.
I don't know. I think blaming movies for violence is like blaming video games for violence.
Oh no, you're absolutely
it's a dumb argument. It's like if you can't teach your children this is make believe and it's not real and don't go and do it, then you're failing as a parent. Well,
it's the same thing. It's like there is no study, no credible study ever that linked actual violence to movies or video games. So It's not
Right.
like I mean, if this was going to get people violent, then The Purge should have started. Well, The Purge. So,
and it's also one of those things where it's like, there's this thing in the media where it's like, you've got to go to the stars of these movies or the directors and be like, don't you feel responsible for the violence going on in the world because you're creating violent content? And it's like, no, they're an actor who took a job. Thought it was a good story and did the movie.
Like I said, it's a weird track for an interviewer to take. And I
kind of feel like once he says no, I don't feel that, you just you drop it and move on to your next topic. Don't push it with the person either.
Yeah. So it was also weird that he got up and walked out, because you could have just, like you said, well, no.
No, but he did say no, and they kept pressing him about it.
Yeah. Well, he said, why would you no before walking off? So he said no, but then he walked right out. So anyway, yeah, that happened.
JD, you're being quiet.
I was letting you guys talk. You have both had a good repartee on that one. I think that there's my two thoughts on this. One, it's very Joaquin Phoenix to just not like a direction the interview's going and walk out. That's kind of his thing. He don't care. He's made his whole brand on being kind of like whatever. Check out his Letterman appearances on YouTube; they're great. But I think he's put in no one's situation. What's he supposed to say? They made a piece of art. That being said, every dweeb ass incel is going to be looking and acting like the Joker this fall.
Well, yeah, but again, those same people would look at The Purge as an instruction manual. So, I don't
know if they're going to cause violence because of it. I think that is it going to embolden people? Maybe a couple. But I mean, art does that to people. Yeah. John Hinckley.
I think part of the problem is you go.
Oh yeah, John Hinckley, right?
because of taxi driver. He's trying to foster.
But again, it's not an aggregate effect. No. It's only going to be one or two crazy people, and that's it. It's not what the politicians and some of the news outlets are trying to push, which is, this will affect society. This is the reason why we have mass shootings. No, it's not.
No,
there's no credible study that links those at all. And when I say credible, I mean 99% of all studies. Just a few crackpot think tanks that are trying to make the connection so they can make hay about it.
Media needs a narrative to sell.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And politicians need something to blame because the actual problems are too difficult to legislate. So we put it on something that we can make a scapegoat and make everybody get upset about. That's what they do. It's like the vaping thing. 6 people have died from buying illegal things. Well, no shit, man. Okay. What are you gonna do? I mean, you're gonna make that illegal, but not I don't know. I don't want to get too political, but I mean, it's just, in my opinion, this is dumb people punching down, trying to make themselves look smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree 100%. All right.
Going by that logic, if you watch the Transformers Fall, Rise of the Fallen or whatever, you should be incredibly violent. But
that movie made me violent. I want to walk out of there.
All right, our final news article of the week. You guys know who Bob Iger is, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out and admitted that maybe, possibly, they rushed things with Star Wars.
You don't say. No. Really?
And the quote, I just think that we might have put a little too much in the marketplace too fast. Yeah, I think the storytelling capabilities of the company are endless because of the talent we have, and the company and the talent we have at the company is better than it's ever been, in part because of the influx of people from Fox.
Yeah, just not the ones that they put on those movies, that's all.
I liked Force Awakens a lot. I liked The Last Jedi. It's very different. I liked Rogue One. Well, I liked the last half of Rogue One. But that being said, I think if they're guilty of anything, it's not making Star Wars special anymore. Yeah. Because I do think we got too much product too soon, and I do think the movies could have all been great, and I think it devalued the brand a little bit.
When George Lucas is disappointed in your Star Wars movie, you know there's a problem.
Yeah, but George Lucas also made Attack of the Clones, so I mean, like,
right? I'm saying after he was happy with that, but he was unhappy with what they made. And again, Force Awakens, I'm sorry, but it was literally a clone of New Hope. I mean, another freaking Death Star. Come on. I mean, geez, they didn't bring their A game at all. They didn't even bring their C game to these movies.
But in J.J. Abrams' credit, I think he was easing the fans into a new chapter and replaying the initial themes and setting up a new world for us to play in. And, Rian Johnson went, yeah, screw that. Here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if they made a mistake, it was not hiring a single creative vision to guide these things. Like, Kathleen Kennedy does a pretty good job as a producer, but I don't know if she's as creatively influential as like a Kevin Feige is. So I think that the mainstream, the episode 7, 8, 9, suffered from a lack of an overall
focus.
An overall focus. Because Last Jedi and Force Awakens feel like very different movies, and they are different movies. But it doesn't seem like there's a lot of cohesion, and I like them all based on their own strengths. But even I can look back and go, it doesn't all add up. Because it was obvious that Ryan didn't have any interest in talking about the Knights of Ren.
Right.
Okay, that's fine. But I felt like it was set up that we have to talk about it. So I think that's where I do agree with you. I think that JJ set the table and did it in a way that to get the member berries going, to get people re-excited about Star Wars. And then for some reason, and I don't know if it was him or if it was the company, they decided to bring new voices in on all of these. And it really, I don't know if I say it didn't work, but I mean, like, there does seem to be a lack of cohesion.
Very much so. Yeah. So he admitted they made a mistake.
And we didn't need the spin-off movies.
Yeah.
And I like Rogue One. I like the last half of Rogue One. First half's kind of boring. But, yeah, we didn't need them.
No. I mean, that was... Did we not learn anything from the Clone Wars movie?
No, they keep making more.
Well, at least Jar Jar Binks wasn't in the new one, so...
Not yet. We don't know what JJ's doing with this last one.
True that.
You may actually bring him back to kill him or something. I could see JJ doing that.
No, bring him back as a glowy, a blue glowy.
Oh my god!
He was secretly a Jedi all the time.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
It was on Robot Chicken, so.
Oh my god!
Great show.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's all I have news-wise for this week. You got anything else you want to add?
Nah.
No. I mean, it was better than the last few weeks we've had. So
yeah, true.
Maybe we'll have a lot more as the new season starts.
Oh, I almost forgot. Before we sign off this week, boys and girls, anyone out there who is looking to, I don't know, write a blog or two in their spare time, maybe write up some news articles. We are looking for people who have time to contribute to our website. And we had a couple people who were helping out with that, and they've both moved on. They're too busy with their respective projects, and so they're not going to be doing that. And we're really looking for is like 2 or 3 writers, maybe somebody who's interested in doing some comic book reviews. We have a lot of books that we get from different publishers every week, and I don't have time to read them all and write reviews. So I'm looking for someone to help me out with that.
Books we get for free.
Yes, books you would get for free. We also get a lot of press releases from different outlets that I don't always have time to write up and put on the website, and this is news that I would like to get out in a timely fashion to our fans. So if you're interested, you have some free time and you'd like to write for our website, contact me at dave@superheroespeak.com, and we can hopefully make something happen. So I look forward to hearing from any prospective writers. All right, so that's the open casting call. How's that?
Cool.
All right, boys and girls. On that note, as always, thanks for listening, and don't let your cape get caught in the door. Have a good week.